What's going on, everybody? It's me, Divine Malzar, and I've got Season 10, Episode 1's review of Doctor Who. Now, this is a really awesome opener episode for Episode 1, guys. I had a blast watching it. We got to know our new companion and the new assistant a lot better. We have seen this previous assistant in the past in the most recent Christmas special, and we have seen him before, but the new companion, Bill, is actually really cool, and we're going to be diving into a lot of information today of what happened in this episode. Guys, I have 5 pages worth of notes, so this is going to be in depth. If you see me look down from the camera at all, it's because I'm reading them. So the episode starts off with the new companions in an office with an out-of-order TARDIS. The Doctor is not there, and we see some things on the desk. A couple things that I took notes on that I thought were things to take note of is we have a picture of River Song, the Doctor's wife. That's really cool. So he does actually, we already knew he cared about River, but it's really cool to see that he has a photo of her on his desk. And we see a bunch of sonic screwdrivers in a cup. Older looking models that go all the way back to like the design of the War Doctor, really. It's actually really cool to see that. And after that, we hear the guitar. Boom, we know who it is. It is the Doctor himself. And it's a kind of a fun callback because in previous seasons when they started off, they introduced the Doctor at the beginning of the season coming out playing a guitar or something. So that's really cool. They have done that in previous episodes in past seasons with Capaldi, and they brought that back. That's a really nice little touch that I actually like a lot. The new companion is pretty sexy, by the way. Her name is Bill, which we find out later on in the episode, but I'm dropping now because a lot of you already know. You've seen the episode. If you haven't seen the episode, please pause this review, go and watch it, and then come back and watch this review because you're gonna get spoiled. So she's talking to the Doctor, and he asks her, why do you keep coming to my lectures? And she's, they're both kind of dancing around the question. She starts asking about the TARDIS because she has no idea what it is, and she just wants to know why it's there. And finally, he gets her to answer why she's been coming to his lectures, and it's because she likes them. So she's kind of drawn to the Doctor, and the Doctor's curious why, because he has noticed her, and he comes back to find her sitting at his desk in his office. He's probably wondering what the hell's going on here. So the Doctor says he likes how she smiles when she doesn't understand something, whereas most people frown. So that's why he's also intrigued in her, so they're interested in each other. There's a lot of chemistry going on when it comes to piquing one another's interest as a person, as another individual. So you can tell they're kind of already hitting it off to a good start because the Doctor likes interesting people. He doesn't like people that are boring, that he's seen 1,000 times over. So she's already piqued his interest. She's already got one foot in the door of the TARDIS, if you catch my drift. So I kind of love how they're sizing each other up, trying to figure each other out as well. It's the classic Whovian experience of Doctor meets new companion. They both kind of just size each other up, try to figure one another out, because it's always someone that's really smart, or someone that's really brave, or someone that's very clever at figuring things out quickly, or can see through bullshit. Those are the types of people that the Doctor takes as companions, and sometimes ditzy people as well. But that's just kind of, aside from the point. But the Doctor offers to be her tutor out of nowhere and get her into the university, and she's like, I kind of have to already have done that, and he said, I'll take care of it. She's like, you kind of need to have already taken care of it. He's like, listen, I'll take care of it. And another thing I noticed, her voice is very familiar. I can't really put a finger on it, but she sort of also reminds me of Martha, and no, not because they're both attractive black women, because they're both their facial structures are kind of similar, you know what I mean? I think they both have really pretty eyes and great smiles. Maybe that's what I see as the similarity there, but I'm not really sure. I can't put a pin on where I know her voice from either. I really wish I could figure it out, but I just can't figure it out. But anyways, we cut to the Doctor lecturing a bunch of students, and during this lecture, the Doctor is explaining how movies are just loads of pictures standing still. They're never moving, but they're being captured in time. I love how the Doctor always uses metaphors to explain time travel. It makes it really fun, and it's a gem of an experience to be had for all of us as viewers. I really always like that. And Capaldi just does a wonderful job of being the Doctor. He's wanted to be the Doctor ever since. Fun fact, he wrote in a magazine when he was a kid that he wanted to be the Doctor one day when he grew up, and look what happened. He grew up and got to be the Doctor. So that's pretty cool, right? Fun little fact you guys know now. He actually, whenever they introduced him on the Graham Norton show as the was it the Graham Norton show? No, it wasn't the Graham Norton show. It was actually, they had a big reveal who the Doctor was going to be, and he actually said that on there a couple years back after Matt Smith finished being the Doctor. It was not on Graham Norton, though. It was on, I think it was just a show. They just literally hosted a show, maybe, I'm not sure. But I'm rambling here. Let's get back to the review here. So, afterwards, we then see the Doctor with his assistant walking around campus, and our new companion is following his suit. They go to an underground room, and she overhears them because she follows them there. She overhears him and the assistant speaking, and of course, he's sonicking something because wouldn't be the Doctor if he wasn't sonicking something, right? So she makes a weird noise. She gets discovered. They don't see her, but they know someone's there. And the Doctor looks over at his assistant and says, what did you do with the security? And he said, I set it to friends only. Well, the doctor just happened to make friends with her not too long ago, so she was able to get in. They might not be super close friends, but his security device let her through, so they were friends enough. So just shows you how quickly you can become the doctor's friend and get past his security. There you go. Might want to focus on doing that one, Daleks in Disguise. But other than that, it cuts to her walking outside and finding the girl that she likes on the bench. So this might be our companion's relationship early on in the series. You know, we're starting to see that there. And I did hear we were going to have our first gay companion, and here she is. So I don't know if she's just lesbian or bisexual, whatever. It doesn't matter. They said we were going to get a companion with a same-sex relationship, and we got one. So it's going to be Bill. And honestly, Bill is really pretty, and the girl she likes, whose name is Heather that we find out later on, but I'm going to tell you guys now, she's a very, very attractive woman as well. Very beautiful, very beautiful. And something seems off about her, though. I don't really trust her so far, to be honest, in the episode. Something about Heather is extremely sketchy. I don't know why. It's just the way she looks, man. But anyways, she gets Bill to follow her to a parking lot, and there's a puddle in the parking lot, and she says, this puddle has been here, and it hasn't rained for a week. You should go look into it. And Bill's like, what? Why should I look into the puddle? She's like, just go look into it. So, what does she see? Her own reflection. And then we get their names. Then we find out Bill and Heather. They said, oh, I'm Bill. Oh, I'm Heather, etc., etc. That's where we get the name drops for those two, all right? But we hear a baddie's voice saying the pilot is located and the link is established. But that's actually after one thing. After they exchange names, she sees a reflection is wrong and turns around and Heather's gone. Heather's gone, and then she goes to leave, and that's when we hear the baddie voice. Now, after the commercial break, we cut back to the university, and it's wintertime, so we've had a big time skip. We've had a very large time skip, months and months. And the doctor is getting a present from Bill. So he's been tutoring her for quite a while now, in what? I don't know. Probably just all around academics in general. Because he said he was going to get her into the university, and at this point he has. So boom, at least to my knowledge, she's there. I mean, a couple months later, we would assume he got her in, right? So, she's giving him a gift. It's a rug. And he says, I haven't gotten you anything. And she's like, don't worry about it. It wasn't expensive. It was cheap. Please don't worry about it. Like, I got it covered. And they're both wearing red and blue crown hats, paper ones that they made. Polar opposite colors, red versus blue, red and blue, kind of polar opposite colors. This might signify something later on in the season, maybe. Who knows? I'm not really entirely sure, but we will find out. And then Bill is telling the doctor about her past a little bit. And he tells her about she tells him, Bill is telling the doctor about her past a bit, and she mentions about how her mother passed away when she was a child, and she barely remembers her at all. There's hardly any photos of her, etc., etc. And it cuts to her finally seeing some pics of her mom, and damn, her mom is a hottie, just damn. Bill's mom was cute. Give me 1 second here to take a sip of some tea. That's delicious. But this is a bit emotional for Bill, and it's starting to show. I like how they're giving us her backstory quickly instead of making us wait till later on in other episodes. But I did notice the man holding the camera taking the picture of her mom. It looked like he had dirty blonde hair. So who could that be? I mean, I guess we're going to have to find out later because they did not touch base on that. That's probably something we're going to see later on throughout the series when we get more character development for Bill. But I really like how I gotta just love how Doctor Who, they always sneak stuff like that in that will always be a callback later on. Like, come on, man. Remember the cracks in Amy's wall? Those played back all the way to the end of the 11th Doctor's run. Like, they set these shit up early on in the series. They know where they're taking you early on, and they make sure they get you there in the most awesome way possible. That's just something that Doctor Who does really well. They have amazing writers. The writing staff is incredible. The showrunners always do good. But this is Moffat's last season. This is Capaldi's last season. So guys, this is going to be a big season for Doctor Who. It's going to be a big game changer for the series as well. So I can't wait to see what happens after that. But next we're back at the parking lot and Heather is staring into the puddle and Bill is talking to her. Heather is up to something. I don't trust her. She's up to something, guys. She really is. And her eyes are oddly colored. She asks Bill to come around and because Bill couldn't get through the fence. She has to walk around to get to where the puddle's at with Heather. So Heather's really excited to see Bill because she wants to spend some time with her, possibly pursue that relationship a little bit more. And when she comes around to find Heather, Heather is gone again. And the first time they met near that puddle, I neglected to tell you this and I do apologize. I believe it was the first time they met there. Bill said to her, "You're not going to leave without me," when she went in. And Heather said, "I won't leave without you. No, I promise." Pay attention to what I just said there because that's going to come back later on in the episode. So this is the second time they're at the puddle. She goes around. Heather leaves her again. Okay, there it is. Now we know that the puddle is alien as fuck for sure, as we see a random girl's face in it, and it does not look like Heather's. It's a different girl. And at that point, we know there's some alien life form involved. All right, so Bill then explains to the doctor about the reflection being wrong in the puddle, and it cuts to the doctor running outside. I mean, she turned around, the chair was spinning, she looks out the window, the doctor's fucking full sprint across the yard. It's hilarious, and she just bolts off after him, all right? Can I just add this real quick here? I love Peter Capaldi's like Doctor in Movement score, the musical score, like when he's actually doing his doctor thing. It's such a good musical score and I love it. It cued in at the perfect time. It's one of the most fun scores we've had yet for being exciting and just overall awesome. But, after that, we have them both at the puddle and the doctor's trying to work this out. He's having a little bit of a rough time, but it's starting to, the doctor's doing his doctor thing. It's starting to come together a little bit up there. He's doing his thing. Another tea sip. Yes. Oh, I bumped my pop filter. Whoopsies. That tea is really good. All right, so the doctor finally figures it out. He then says Heather's face isn't symmetrical, and that's why she notices the puddle's wrong reflection, meaning things that aren't symmetrical reflect wrong in the puddle, because it's not water in the way or sense you think it is. It is a liquid. I won't spoil anything just yet. It is a liquid, but it's not showing a reflection. It's an alien life form mimicking what you see. So that's why you look like you see yourself, but it's a little off because it's not really your reflection. But, wibbly wobbly, timely wimely explanations of things because, Doctor Who and all. But we'll touch base on that more later on. He then shoos Bill off and wants to deal with it without her being involved, obviously to protect her. He says, go, shoo, do whatever, go do something, yada, yada, yada. After the commercial break, we come back to Bill coming home and her cell phone rings. She calls the person that she lives with, or the person she lives with is talking to her, and, she hears someone in the shower. And she's saying, what are you doing in the shower? And then she's like, she's like, no, she said, what are you doing out? Are you out with so-and-so? And she said, I'm out, etc. She said, well then, okay, I gotta go. And then she's like, who's in the shower then? Because her roommate's just not in the shower. Who the hell is that, right? So she goes in the bathroom and looks in, no one's there. She then looks at the shower, sees a shadow, opens it up, music intense, everything's queued up seriously. And no one's there. She looks down at the drain. And we definitely got aliens going through pipes here, and they can travel in water. But she sees an eye in the drain and bolts. Scared the shit out of me. She leaves the flat. That's what they call them in England, flats. I don't know if it's an apartment or a house, but flat, whatever. She leaves her flat, and I don't blame her because I'd be out too. Oh, and when I say flats, I say flat in general because I don't know if, in American terms, I don't know if she's in an apartment or a house. Just her home. I don't know what it is. We didn't get to see what it looks like from the outside. This could be an apartment complex. It could be a big house. We'll find out, though, I'm sure. I'm sure we'll find out when the doctor pops in there with his TARDIS one day. Because he will. That'll happen. So she's out of there. She heads back to the university. She's outside. It's nighttime, and she sees the doctor pacing. He's pacing back and forth in his study. And, she sees through the window. Then she sees Heather soaking water next to a tree. This is where I think she's starting to put two and two together going, okay, something's not right with Heather. This is weird. But she starts talking to Heather and Heather's literally mimicking her words like a reflection. There we go. We're back to that reflection again, guys. Don't worry. It's all going to go full circle soon. We're about halfway through the review. And she says to Heather, you're dead. And Heather lunges at her. But then it cuts to Bill in the doctor's study hiding and the water's coming under the door. So Bill got away. We didn't see her run. They just cut to her in the doctor's study and, Heather's coming in underneath the door because she can desolidify into water and, just right in there. Maybe they cut the chases and the chasing and running scenes out this episode to save time because this ran from 9 to 10:10. So it was a little bit longer of an episode. Obviously commercial breaks and whatnot, but this was definitely a little bit longer of an episode. Boom, a dead girl comes in, and it's not Heather, though. It's not Heather. It's that other dead girl. And they're in the TARDIS, and she turns... next thing they know, the doctor brings her to the TARDIS, and she turns around, and boom, the lights come on, and she sees that it's bigger on the inside. My favorite part of any new companion's journey. I put a little smiley face on my notes as well afterwards, because it is a really fun part. And the doctor says to her, you'll always be safe in here. But that's after what he explains what the TARDIS stands for. Time and relative dimensions in space. TARDIS, for short. Cool acronym, right? Anyways, she's not too amazed and asked to use the toilet. Like, what? But now she's starting to get a little bit more amazed when she realizes the TARDIS isn't just a room and says, oh, it's a lift, because he starts to make it work to get them outside. She thinks they're like in a lift that's going up or down. Nope. She realizes it's not just a room, yada, yada, yada. She walks outside and boom, commercial break. Thankfully, you don't have to sit through that because I'm going to tell you what she sees. She sees now they're in the underground place that she originally followed them to earlier and realizes the TARDIS can go anywhere it likes. Now she's a bit more wowed. The bigger on the inside is setting in, and we finally got to the line, says the doctor's assistant, which I can't remember his damn name. I cannot remember his name. I know he's an android, but I can't remember his name. But when she says the line, he says, and finally we've got there. Now the doctor's back to business. That's the line we were all waiting for, every companion. But it's bigger on the inside. I love David Tennant's whenever one of his companions comes in. It was either Martha or the doctor, and he like mouths it's bigger on the inside. It's pretty fucking great. That's one of my favorite things about Tennant. I just love how cheeky he was as a doctor. But the doctor's back to business now, claiming the alien may be here for what the doctor has locked behind the big sci-fi looking door down in the basement, or it's just a coincidence that the alien's here, and they're not there for that. But the alien managed to get in to their little underground area and solidifies. So they run, and we find out from the doctor that it was a coincidence. It's not there for whatever was behind that door. It just wants them. They're now outside. They're not outside during a sunny day. Or no, they're now outside. They get back in the TARDIS and they travel again. They're now outside during a sunny day. Have we traveled through time? Or have we? Because she asks if they have, and the doctor says, no, we haven't. We're in Australia. So he went to the other side of the world to see if this thing would follow him there. And, now she starts asking the new companion questions, where he's from, etc., etc. You know the drill. I'll spare you guys that. And that's it. That's it. They're there. The alien's not there right now. They think everything's okay. But then, boom, the alien is there because they look in the mirror in the bathroom and they see these little water drops. Normally, Doctor Who has pretty good special effects. It's been known for having cheesy ones in the past, but these ones right here were pretty cheesy, guys. They were definitely really cheesy. They looked pretty bad. I wasn't really a fan of that, but the rest of the episode was phenomenal, special effects-wise, so I can't complain. The Doctor then takes them 23 million years into the future to the other end of the universe to see if the alien can follow them there, and then tells Bill, oh yeah, it's a time machine too. And they're on a very beautiful rocky planet. The Doctor says the scorch marks in the puddle could have been from a spacecraft, so that we're referencing back to that puddle now that we originally seen that Heather and Bill had been looking at in that parking lot. And he says that there were scorch marks in the puddle. That doesn't make sense, because, burn marks in water, you would need to be on a solid object, but it's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff. So, it doesn't always make sense with the Doctor. It just kind of exists. And he says that they could have been from a spacecraft and that it could have been shape-shifting liquid from the ship, like oil or something of the sort that can shape-shift. So it isn't water. And he's starting to piece everything together now. He's starting to figure it out. But the alien's on this planet too. And we see Heather coming out of a puddle as Bill looks at her. And Heather's smiling this time. And Bill's really happy. She's like, oh, wow, I can see her here. If I was Bill, I'd have been a little bit more freaked out. But, makes for good TV, right? So she's not really fazed by it at all. But then it grabs Bill by the face, and the Doctor and the assistant pull her away, and they run into the TARDIS. So it can time travel as well, and it's fast as fuck. He says, let's run it through the biggest fire in the universe and see if it survives that. Well, more like firing, because he takes them to a war going on, and we hear Daleks. He took them to a war in the past, he says, all right? We see a new species that we have not seen yet, at least to my knowledge. Maybe in Classic Who they were referenced. I haven't finished all the Classic Who yet. I've not seen it in the reboot yet. These aliens, if they were, I must have missed them because I've watched through the series multiple times, and I really think it would have been hard to miss them. For me, at least. But I don't remember ever seeing them before. So I think these guys are new. We see a Dalek shoot at the Doctor after it realizes who he is. It shoots at the Doctor and Bill, and it misses, and it goes through the girl, the alien. And she isn't affected. She then mimics the Dalek's words, exterminate, exterminate, exterminate. She's mimicking them. So the Doctor's shocked to find that a Dalek couldn't kill her. So they're on the run, and they turn around, because they come into an end of a corridor, and there's big flames, so they can't go that way. There's fire there. And they come to a screeching halt, and the Doctor realizes there's a Dalek behind them. So they turn around real slow, like, oh shit, we're fucked. This might be it for us. And the Doctor's shocked to find a Dalek that's just not quite right. It has Heather's eye in it, and then it washes away into water. Literally just washes away and just bursts into water and just right on the ground, and then re-solidifies into Heather again now, all right? And here we are at the final standoff between the Doctor and Heather, and he tells her to go now and fly away because he won't let it, the alien life form, take anyone else the way Heather was taken. And here we have it. The last thing Heather said was, I won't leave without you, to Bill. That's why this alien has been chasing Bill around this whole entire episode, wherever they went across space and time, no stopping at all whatsoever on its journey, its quest, because it made a promise. Heather made a promise, and it took on that promise when it took Heather. It wants to take Bill with them. And the doctor tells Bill, tell her, release her from that promise. So she does. But first she wants to touch hands against the doctor and the assistant's orders. They say, do not touch her, Bill. And she does it anyways. And the alien, or Heather, shows her the beauty of the whole entire universe and what she could go and see if she went with her. But Bill still says no. And the alien just dissipates, becomes a puddle again, and that's it. Goodbye forever. For now, at least. We might see her again. The doctor asks if she's fine, and they're on their way. We wrap up the episode right where we started it, though, but this time with a TARDIS in action in the corner of the room. The lights are on inside, and it's no longer out of order. It's not collecting dust anymore, so that's good at least, I guess. The doctor has been hiding for a while here, he tells Bill. And he wants to wipe her memory because he doesn't want anyone to know who he is and where he's at. And we don't know why he's hiding right now. We don't exactly know why. Obviously, it could be from, the Daleks, the Master, whatever. There could be some stuff we haven't found out yet. We're going to find that out later on, I'm sure. But he wants to wipe her memory, and she pleads for him not to. And I know how merciful the doctor can be, but he still wants to do it. And she says, you know what? This is what I really like. We hear Clara's music, Clara, however you want to pronounce it. We hear Clara's music, and or as the doctor calls her, Clara. And it's really, her OST is just so beautiful. I love Clara's music. And we start to see the doctor's softer side when that music kicks on. And it's really cool because it's like, even after all this time, Clara's still keeping him in check, helping him to be a better person. And as that music's playing, Bill looks at him just really, really distraught and upset and says, how would you feel if someone did this to you? Made you forget everything you learned that was exciting about the universe and life and the world itself and everything you know in existence in the universe. How would you feel if someone did that to you? And he's like, get out, go, before I change my mind, get out of here. And as Bill goes outside, the doctor is there at the TARDIS saying, it's a big universe, and maybe one day we'll find her. He was outside. She went outside, and he was outside with the TARDIS in the grass, leaning up against it, waiting for her. And he said, it's a big universe, and maybe one day we'll find her. She asked him, what changed your mind? And he says, time. I love this show. It's so fucking good. But that's not how it ends. He says time and relative dimensions in space. Like the TARDIS changed his mind. No, he was dropping that acronym again for the TARDIS. He snaps his fingers and the doors open and says it means what the hell. And the end. That's the end of the episode. Guys, this was an awesome first episode. I have no idea where this is going to take us as Doctor Who fans. This could go a lot of different places. I'm genuinely really pleased with how it opened up in Season 10. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Doctor Who Season 10, Episode 1's premiere. Let me know who your favorite Doctor Who character is and who your favorite Doctor is and why. Guys, if you really enjoyed this review, please be sure to slap a like on the video, click my face at the top left of the screen to subscribe to the channel, and right underneath that is one of my most recent videos, so be sure to check that out as well. And as always, I'll see you in my next one, and I'll see you next Saturday. Take care.